Cara Ortiz with the Lifespan program through the EUP ISD and the Farmers Market Food Navigator program through the Brimley Bay Mills Farmers Market. And today's Michigan Harvest of the Month recipe is garlicky green beans. And I love green beans and I love garlic, so I'm pretty excited about this one. Green beans are also great for us. They're a good source of fiber, which keeps our digestive system running well, but can also help to lower cholesterol. Fiber can help regulate blood sugar. Green beans are also a good source of vitamin C, which, of course, we've said many times is important for our immune system health, but also for maintaining strong bones, good cartilage, teeth, helping with absorb iron in the body. So all kinds of benefits with vitamin C. So garlicky green beans, let's get to it. The first thing we need to do is get some water in our pot because we're going to be boiling these green beans. So, I have a pretty large pot because we need to be able to fit 4 cups of green beans in it. Okay, and I filled the pot about half full. We want to make sure we have enough water to cover those green beans, and we want to try not to spill too much on the counter. But okay, we have our water in our pot and green beans. These are green beans that I actually got from the Brimley Bay Mills Farmers Market this past Thursday, and I have washed them and I've snapped the tops off of them, so I should be good to go with these. And like I said, we need 4 cups of green beans, so that equates to about 4 handfuls, 4 pretty large handfuls. And I think I have about that amount ready in the bowl, but let's see. Handful 1, 2, 3, and getting those last straggler beans 4. Okay, so I have them in my pot. I'm going to try and show you without spilling water again. All right, so I'm going to bring these over to my stove top, and I'm going to bring my water and the beans to a boil and let them boil for about 8 to 10 minutes until the beans are a little bit tender. Okay, so I'm going to pause and do that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back and I have boiled the green beans, and we need to make our marinade now for the green beans. They're garlicky green beans, so it's going to be a marinade featuring garlic, of course. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of garlic in a can, if that's what you have, canned crushed garlic, or you can use 2 cloves of fresh garlic. That's about the equivalent. I have minced garlic actually here on hand, and it's minced so finely that I'm actually going to use even less. If you have canned minced garlic, not crushed, then you probably only want about 1 teaspoon of garlic. So I'm gonna get some of that here. So you can see here I have my 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. If you have garlic powder on hand and want to use that, that's just fine. That's even stronger. So you're probably going to only want to use about a half teaspoon of garlic powder. And that's in the recipe as well, if you're worried about remembering all those numbers. Okay, so I have my garlic. And the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I've already actually prepped my 2 tablespoons. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here with my garlic. All right, and we need about half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, there's my half teaspoon. Just gonna mix it in with everything else, dump it in. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil or vegetable oil is fine. I have some olive oil here I'm gonna use. 1 tablespoon. Okay, and I'm gonna dump that in with everything else, with my soy sauce, garlic, black pepper. The recipe also calls for 1 teaspoon of sesame oil if you have it. I don't have any sesame oil at home right now, so I'm gonna do without, but if you have it and wanna put it in, fantastic. Okay. All right, now I have my green beans that I've boiled until they were just tender. I probably boiled mine for about 10 minutes once they came to a rolling boil. And I'm just gonna dump them in. I've drained them. Of course, I've drained the water from them. And I'm just gonna dump them in with everything else, my marinade that I put in here. And I'm gonna stir them up a little bit here. Okay, and now I'm going to pause again for a little while because our recipe calls for stirring or shaking. If you have a lid for your container like this and you want to shake your green beans up to really get that, make sure they're all covered with the marinade, you can do that. Shake them like this, or if you just want to stir them up, that's fine. But our recipe calls for shaking or stirring them up about every 10 minutes for half an hour so they can really soak in those flavors. So I'm going to take a little pause again, and we'll pick up in about half an hour and we'll see the finished product, okay? Okay, we're back. So our green beans have been marinating for half an hour. Every 10 minutes I've been shaking them up or stirring them up. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. There you go. They smell delicious. All right, now the last step, the last thing the recipe calls for is, I believe, 1 tablespoon. Yeah, 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds. I don't have any toasted sesame seeds here right now. I do have a different seed mix that I'm going to use instead. Whatever you have available at home is fine. If you have any seeds, sesame seeds. If you don't, that's okay too. If you maybe like things a little bit spicy and you want to add like some crushed red pepper or something along those lines, that would be great as well. Just work with your tastes and what you have and what you like. But yeah, I'm going to add my seed mixture here, which is some sesame seeds and some poppy seeds. There's also a little bit of minced garlic in with it. So we're getting an extra dose of garlic, but like I said, I love garlic. And again, if you aren't so much into garlic and you want to use a little bit less garlic when you're making yours, that's fine. So let's take a look. You can see my seeds on top. I'm going to stir them up a little bit. All right, and I'm going to try a bean now. They smell so good. Ooh, super flavorful, really good. Thank you for watching. I will make sure to share a link to the recipe, and thanks again.